improvement would be to add an additional member for each group.
And CDA, potentially.
Yes, so that'd be another CDA person, because I think because it will be more hands-on, like Conservation Committee, one of the reasons they can do so much, they have 13 members. So, and like Pet and Bike, and which Trustee Metz is also the staff liaison, you know, you have 7 really active members. You know, 3 of the people on the advisory committee are staff members, so I think by, you know, that's why I would want to consider adding, you know, 3 more potential representatives on that committee to have a little bit more ability to do that hands-on
And we
stuff.
would have to decide it tonight, I assume that we would have to change the word, you know, the word.
We would, right,
Okay, yeah.
based on the statute, yeah.
Okay, thank you. But going back, is there something that would guide, is there like a strategic plan that, you know, what is going to
Yes.
guide, right, and you're going to get that to us,
We have
whatever
that.
we have.
Yep.
Yeah, and then for branding purposes, I mean, like, one of the main goals, I'm just trying to wrap it up, if we go forward with a different structure, I want to make sure that what the goals that we paid, you know, to accomplish, that got accomplished. One of the things, since I've been on the board, I heard from marketing was we were creating a brand that was going to be consistent with the 3 or 4 entities. Is that done?
We had a large discussion about that, and we did have a recommendation and direction that the advisory committee agreed to, so.
Which would be part of the year-end report.
Yeah, I could put that in the year-end report.
And the structure, the structure isn't really changing of the marketing. It's just the professional fees of where they're not hiring an outside firm, except for design. The structure is still the same.
You mean the members?
As far as having a committee and leadership, that's what she's referring to, having like a leadership committee and an advisory committee.
Would we,
That would stay the same.
and you would just put that into the ordinance, right, as just like another committee? Or it's in there already? I don't
We
know.
don't know, it's not.
It's part of
It's not a
a,
standing
it was part of a resolution, right, that
I
was
think it's
adopted?
MOU.
Or an MOU, it was an MOU.
Because
Because
it's a cross entity.
it's not necessarily a village committee, it's a community committee, because you have, everyone's kind of an equal partner in
It's
that.
in our committee structure. We do it for other.
That could be, we can
If
talk
we get
about,
a-
let's talk about that. Yeah,
There's
that-
things to think about.
that's a good future discussion, but
Yeah.
that's something we don't have to resolve tonight.
So for the wrap-up, we've got some alternatives presented here. I definitely on alternative 2, I want to see what this would look like revised and provide us the impact in the different departments, what you're proposing. I guess we could look at both alternative 1 and 2 and put that on our list, so when we have the full board here at our next meeting, since it's a fairly large decision on what a lot of time was spent in setting the current structure up, we definitely want to make sure everybody's comfortable with it. But it is a major impact on the general levy in helping us continue to bring that 2.7% down.
Do you think, like, not only revising the numbers, but when you talk about impact, like a short narrative, kind of outlining the kind of operations
Sure.
aspect of it?
Sure, I'll do like a memo summarizing that we can attach with maybe an attached.
I'll do the
page.
financials, you can do the operations.
Great.
Because I'm also guessing that all parties involved with a simpler structure of not involving a marketing firm will save a significant amount of time just cross-communicating. And they'll put that time towards productive outcomes.
The only concern I have, and I know Trustee Bachhorst isn't here, but she shared this concern with me when we turned it over, the bike races to the bid. Her concern that she had stated at that time, and probably would apply here, is my concern at the time was, does the bid have the resources to be carrying out this village-wide event? So if by taking away our support, that event goes away, you know, that's just something to think about, that I don't.
Financially or operationally?
Financially. So,
Because my argument for that, we're taking away 2,500 of our contribution, but they get back 10,000. So it would actually be a net plus of 7,500 for the
So they
bid.
end up
but they
making
end up
money on
paying,
the
you know, but let me just say, but everybody, that 10,000 was for something different. They were supposedly getting, I mean, when I talked to the bid marketing person, Sarah, you know, that 10,000, she got to utilize Savage, so it wasn't a direct correlation there. Now they're, you know, they would be losing the ability to utilize a professional by getting the 10,000 back, but they're gonna be putting in the entire contribution for the.
So would you want to consider keeping the $2,500?
No, I do not. I'm
Oh, okay.
just stating that that
Okay.
is something that should be
Okay.
considered by, you know, I'm sure it's just something that's gonna
Sure.
be considered.
I know when I mentioned to Erica, didn't seem like she had any
Okay,
concern
good.
with that.
All right.
And then the last thing was for 4th of July, since that's the one we'd be keeping and is relevant to our budget. It looks like the expenditure for 2017 was 24,000 and we're budgeting 75. So how, is that just because we have different revenue sources that offset that?
Well, the way our budget is structured is we budget the hard cost of event management. And the event itself is scalable dependent upon the revenues received on the top for the donations for the 4th of July. So we anticipate that donations and sponsorships will fund the activities of the event, and that the village's commitment is really to have an event manager who makes it all happen.
But this year, we hired out for that, correct? We've always have. We weren't going to this year. I think we planned on, you know, trying to kind of volunteer or.
We had a contract with Sarah to
We did at the last
do the
minute,
lead.
yes,
Yeah,
because we found a time crunch.
she was great, so.
Yeah, she was excellent, I
Yeah.
agree. But is that what the 24,000 is?
That's what the 7,500 is.
7,500. And then and what Mark is saying is donations then come in, that will be added to the revenue line. And then as we get contracts with other
Street performers.
street performers, and
bands.
that's added to the expenditure line. So you'll see, even though we have 7,500 right now, that number will go up as we get those
Got it.
agreements to
So-
24 or whatever.
So you guys feel comfortable that 7,500 is enough to, if we wanted to contract with Sarah or someone else, you know, next year? Because I assume we're going to contract with someone.
So I would want to contract with Sarah, and she did a great job, she enjoyed it, she has great fun ideas that can continue having a fun parade. And then, so that's part of that, and the other part is just a village contribution to the 4th of July financially. So
It's usually how much?
whatever the difference of,
I'm just saying, what was it this year?
It's not a hard number, it's a soft
Or
number.
what was it this year? So we can-
I don't know.
Well, what was the budget for 17? You said 7,500.
It's been 7,500.
So I think we had a contract for Sarah for like 2,500, so
Oh,
it's,
that's what I'm asking.
so it's the difference of that.
It's the difference,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. So, yeah.
I had a general comment and a more specific one. One is that a point that Trustee Rozak and I have made in prior years is that there's a lot of staff on all three agencies, the schools, the bid, and Tyler's time devoted to marketing. I mean, there's at the school and the bid, I guess they have, is it a full person working full-time at the bid on marketing?
Yes, 20.
20
it's
hours?
20 hours a week, a month, a week.
Week.
And
For the
then
year.
the schools, I believe, have a full-time person marketing and development, and I'm not even counting Ted Knight. So we are directing a lot of resources in terms of staff time towards marketing. Now, whether those staff is all going to be coordinated, you know, in the absence of a structure and funding, I don't know. The second thing is, why could we not keep the expenses in this marketing budget and use the fund balance to fund the expenditures and then, you know, just spend down? Wouldn't that save more of levy to just use the $12,000 to fund the expenditure if we were to go with alternative two? We have about,
What do you mean for,
Well, we could, but again,
Just
that's
use
a one-time solution.
what?
That would be a one-time solution, and then next year we have to cover that gap again, so.
I'm confused on the request though, because.
But
we do use
instead of letting that 12,000 go to general fund reserves, I'm saying let's use that 12,000 to spend, just, you know, spend that fund balance down for, you know, it seems like we'll have about Well, no, we'll have more than 12,000 in expense, so we'll still have to put a little bit of property tax in here, but not much, so, you know, we could get savings of like probably 35,000.
Yeah, well, again, just from a fiscal management perspective, that works this year, and then we have to gap fill next year because that money's gone. That is certainly a reasonable request. It's, again, we try not to budget one-time revenues as far as managing the operating budget.
But we are already budgeting, we're already budgeting surplus supply in here. The budget has surplus supply budgeted. I'm just suggesting we keep the surplus supply budgeted and reduce expenditures and therefore further, I mean.
Well, that's certainly a valid wrap-up of discussion if you'd like, Mike. I mean, I don't see I understand your point very clearly.
So, yeah, the funds could be used we could keep this in levy and move some of the balance to some other general fund costs that we already covered.
I mean, it's not such a significant number that I'm going to lose sleep over it, but
Right.
it's just from a process point, you know, that's a board decision.
Well, politically, I actually like that. Let me just explain why. We collected these funds, you know, over time for marketing for the entities. I'm a little uncomfortable with saying, oh, you know, we're done with you guys and we're going to take the money some of the money that you put in and put it into our general reserves. I mean, I just don't feel comfortable with that.
That's a good point.
I feel more comfortable with saying we're going to utilize it for marketing as it was intended, which will have village-wide benefits for the intended purpose. So that might be something to consider. And in addition, just so I don't feel uncomfortable doing surplus supply, because we did that last year for parking utility, we applied 13,000. I mean, whenever we have a surplus, we tend to supplement the budget to lower the tax contribution for that year. So this year, we're not doing that in the parking utility, and I don't, you know, it was a one-time thing, and I mean, we do it in other funds.
Again, in fund-based accounting, particularly in utilities, the idea is that you have a balanced budget, and when your revenue shortfall, you create a balancing by technically applying surplus, which is the accounting presentation that says you don't have enough money and you're going to put this number in, which is coming from your reserves, which you never actually use as a budgetary presentation. And again, there's hard cash in the marketing communications fund. You know, if that's your decision, I mean, that's great. Again,
Mark, how about just for the sake of today, let's just
Yeah.
add it to the list and we can
Yeah,
talk about it on the
I
23rd. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money, it's not gonna have an adverse impact, and it is there, we can use it, so we'll have it on the memo on the 23rd.
So last slide is Shorewood today. With Shorewood today, if you go to the 2017 adopted budget, there's two things that we're trying to address here. One, there was a $6,000 surplus supply. In addition, there was a transfer for marketing of $5,600. So we're trying to, for 2018 and moving forward, we want to get to a budget that is no longer using either of those revenue sources. So the numbers that you see in the budget is going to be slightly modified. So if you want to update on your sheets what the new numbers are, because I've been talking with Michelle, what she feels comfortable as a revenue or as far as advertising fees. So in order to fill that gap, we ended up deciding for the proposed in front of you is actually for advertising revenue to increase by $6,600. So that would actually, instead of 72.5, that would be 71.6. And then the partner contribution would be 2,200 each, which if you multiply by that 3, that's also 6,600. So kind of a 50-50. So the
that's
property.
7,800.
Thank you.
For each
part.
For each. So for property taxes, the
Technical.
school and the bid, that would be 7,800. Everything on the expenditure side stays the same.
Okay.
As far as a $1,000 increase to professional fees, which is 2%, which is pretty consistent as far as if you want to consider it COLA or whatever, or inflation or whatnot. And then there's been some additional time that the photographer, that would also
Okay.
help. So he's been taking more photos than in years past, so.
Can I make the same suggestion here? The CDA has articles in Shorewood today when Pete Petrie was retiring as the chair and Peter Hammond came on, there's a full-page article. When there's a redevelopment that's occurring that based on that it's a TIF, you know, for Metro Market activity, the articles have been in there. When any, you know, so they do have, if they were to put up the same contribution, we would not be taking $2,200 more from the taxpayers. You would need it, so each partner would remain the same, and you just have an injection of an equal amount from the CDA. They do have representation in the Shorewood today, meaning they get coverage as much as any of the three entities. So I'm not sure, I'd like to put that on the list, and maybe bring it up to the chairman, and to see it's not that much money, it falls well within the scope of the money that they were allocated from the transfer.
Okay.